Welcome everybody, we're back. Episode 11, can you believe that?
It's a lot of episodes.
It all started as an idea and now we're back. I'm happy to be back with you in this episode. I hope you listened to the other one, right? Because that was really good.
Yeah, the Father's Day special. So if you have time, go back and listen to it before coming to this one. So press stop, go back to the other one, press play, and then come back later.
But you do want to come back later because this one is going to be really good. And I'm going to give you a hint. And I told you a little bit about what this episode is going to be about because as you can tell in the background, we have a heart. And that's because our wedding anniversary is coming soon.
Yeah, people probably thought, is this Valentine's Day? It's a little late for that. But no, it's our wedding anniversary next Wednesday, June 30th, which is probably going to be today. So today, June 30th, we're releasing our special, right? Our anniversary special.
4 years.
It's been a long time.
Well, I feel like
4 years, 2 houses, 1 dog. So.
2 houses, 1 dog. So we are very excited because today we are going to share with you a few things about how we met and the proposal and then the wedding. We're going to keep it short for you, but you do want to stay and watch till the end because I know you're going to love it. So let's start. I think we can both answer this, how we met, when, where, how did we make it official?
Well, the short story is we met at CAP 2015 in October. I think that year was in October. Some years it's been September. But we met backstage in the dressing rooms. We were getting ready to go sing, and that's where all the singers, or the musicians and singers, kind of hung out. And we just kind of hit it off. I mean, there's a long story to it, but really that's pretty much where we met. I was singing, she was playing violin that year, and so we kind of hit it off then, and then we got each other's socials and kept talking after that. So that's pretty much where we met, in Miami at a conference doing music. So.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that when you are in the middle of God's will and doing His purpose, He brings 2 purposes together, you know. And I think that's what, maybe if you're single, you're waiting for your special one. Like if you are in the center of God's will and you're doing what He wants you to do, like He'll bring a purpose and another purpose and make it a greater purpose.
That's right.
But if I could say, before I met you, backstage, like I already knew. Because my friend was telling me, you have to meet this guy. He's singing my song, and you just have to meet him. And so I was like, So I went backstage, and I said hi.
You did.
And then we had a coffee,
Yeah.
and then we just started talking.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah. If you have more questions for us, you can comment below. Let us know. But the proposal. So these are a few questions. I'm just gonna tell them to you, and you let me know which one you want to answer first, because I'm pretty sure you know more about the proposal than I do, because all I did was show up, right?
Yeah.
But here are a few questions. When did you know I was the one? When did you start the proposal preparations? Who helped you? And how did you make it happen?
So the proposal was an ongoing kind of preparation or plan, I guess. It hadn't been that long, though. It was maybe 2 weeks prior to the proposal when we actually started planning it. But in my mind, I already wanted to. I knew I wanted to. And that ties into the question, how did you know? And really, it was just God, honestly, just letting me know, giving me peace about it. There were certain qualities, certain things. Her relationship with God was very important to me, that she was able to stand on her own 2 feet in her relationship with God and not depend on me for that. That was very important. Someone who had a prayer life, somebody who knew about, what ministry means and the weight of ministry and all those things. But God gives you peace in those situations, because God gives you the peace. If you're uneasy about it, if you're still questioning, keep praying until God gives you that green light, that peace about the decision you're going to make, because it is a huge decision. It's not brushing your teeth in the morning. It's something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. You're going to be spending the rest of your life with this person. So the proposal was...
If I could add to that before you start with the proposal preparations, which I would love to hear, because I don't know all the details yet, 4 years after. But I would say also for the ladies, how did I know? Also was I just first thing that I saw was your love, towards God, and that's what I want. I know that I wanted a man that would love God, because if he would love God with all his heart, I knew he would take care of me. That's what gave me that confidence of like, that's what I want. I would never pick anybody that wouldn't be completely in love with God, because then as a woman you feel not confident about like what would happen to the future, what happened tomorrow. But that's the one thing that I said, this can work out.
Yeah.
And I moved to Tampa. I mean, that was already a hint right there.
And we'll definitely do another podcast one day about relationships and how do you know, and how to hear from God about that and all that kind of stuff, and how purposes tie together. But going back to the proposal, it was, again, 2 weeks prior to when it actually happened, which was on her birthday, it was on her birthday. Midnight struck. Thanksgiving was the day before her birthday, so we had a Thanksgiving party, so I felt it was perfect. We had our family and friends there already. They were coming in from Miami. We have other people that were in town here where we live that were coming over our house to fellowship with us, to be with us during Thanksgiving. And I figured, well, this is the perfect time to propose because everyone's already here. And I didn't want to do it privately. I kind of wanted everybody else to be there as well. The whole show kind of thing. I know some people do it privately. We have stories about that, of the other people, random ways that they did it. But I wanted other people to be there. I wanted to make it a big show. I helped. My cousins helped me out from Miami. My mom helped out a lot. She kind of helped me, wrap my head around what was I going to do. How was I going to? She let me her house, obviously, to be able to do it in the back. We kind of decorated the back porch around times where she wasn't there or she was doing other stuff in the house, because we were all getting ready in the house, but we were also decorating the back porch for the proposal at the same time. Because remember, we had a Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. So after Thanksgiving dinner was done, at the very end was when we said, oh, okay, let's celebrate Jenny's birthday. Let's cut a cake. Let's sing happy birthday, blow out the candles.
It was a surprise to me. I had no idea. You're really good at giving me
surprises. You probably figured that we were going to celebrate your birthday, but you didn't know anything else. So it was perfect, because I was like, well, she's going to expect we're going to cut a cake or blow candles or something like that.
Which I did. I was like, oh, nice.
Because it makes sense. It's her birthday the next day. We're already there really late for the Thanksgiving party. It ended like at 10:30. So by 11, we were already kind of walking back to the back porch. I played a video on this big screen that I got. This like huge screen with a projector and everything. I made a video with everybody from the family kind of saying something weird and quirky. And it was a birthday thing. It was like, happy birthday, Jenny, happy birthday. At the very end of the video, my cousin says something kind of funny. I don't want to make it too long because I know we want to make this video short, but he says something funny, kind of hints about what's going to happen next. When the video stops, I get on one knee, I say a few words, and I propose. Everyone's in shock. Her mom didn't know about it. Only a few people there knew. Everybody else was just kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And that's it. I mean, of course she said yes 4 years later. Yes. So, I mean, she could have said no and then later on something happened, but she did say yes. And that's it. It was, I felt fulfilled because I was like, wow, all this planning went into it. Getting the ring was another hassle. Because it was all last second. Not last second in the sense of like I didn't plan it well, but I didn't plan it well. I guess let's put it that way. And I kind of got it last second, and so everything fell into place at the right time, and we were able to get it done. So it was awesome.
It was a surprise to me. I mean, this is not something that happens in Cuba. I'm from Cuba, you already know. And this is not something that people are accustomed to do in Cuba because the money situation and getting a ring, that's way above expectations. So all of this was like, oh my gosh, this is just like in the movies. But that's pretty much how it happened. And then I'll take the lead for this one. This is our wedding day. We can both say something, but getting ready, were you nervous, anxious, relaxed? I would say that I was nervous. I was anxious. I woke up, I didn't eat any breakfast. I couldn't eat anything. I just forget it.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened. I had to go pick up my mom's dress, and then it got wet. And I was like, no, how is this happening? And then the day before our wedding, that was when I ordered the flowers. I was a little behind. I also was like, "What?" And then one of my bridesmaids was like, "What happened to the flowers and your bouquet?" I was like, "What? I need that." She's like, "Oh my gosh!" So the night before we ordered, it was a favor, and then one of them had to go get them. In the meantime, I had ladies doing makeup and hair and all these things. And as they're getting me ready, I'm writing my vows.
Wow.
And then I remember you called me because we hadn't done the whole table seating situation. And then you called me like, "How do you want this happening?" I'm like, "I don't know. Do whatever you want. Sit whoever you want with whomever you want. I don't care. Anybody can get their own seats."
That was a bridezilla moment right there.
I know. I was like, "I don't care. Do whatever you want. I don't care where they sit or they stand." That's because I was just so anxious. And I mean, we got engaged in November, and then the wedding was in June. So we've been working so hard and getting everything, and the day came, and then I was just like, "Oh, I just want it to be over." But then my friend was like, "No, you don't want it to be over. You want to take a deep breath and just relax and enjoy it." So we put some worship, and then we had some worship going on, and I was able to relax, and I was able to like get dressed and everything. How was with you?
For me, it was less stressful. I guess the only part that I was stressed about was logistics of like how everything was gonna go. I was like, everyone better be there on time. Everyone better be seated
Time
where
was
we
something
asked
big
them to
for
sit.
us.
Yeah, and it didn't go as planned. But in the morning, when the day of, I had planned my outfit the whole 6 months that we were engaged. I was buying little parts of it and tailoring other parts of it when I got them in perfectly. So I had everything, every part I bought separately. The shirt, the jacket, the pants, the shoes, the socks, everything I bought separately. The tie, the vest, everything was bought separately, and I kind of put it together. So I was excited about the day of, because I was like, finally I get to put it all together. And so I had some guys come over. They slept over. I had just bought a house a month or two before. So they slept over at my house, and the morning of the wedding, they kind of helped me get ready, and they cut my hair. I think the night before, one of my friends cut my hair. It didn't come out the way I had wanted to, but that's fine. I mean, honestly, I didn't care. I didn't care about anything. I just wanted my outfit to look good. I didn't care about anything. In retrospect, looking back at my wedding pictures, I'm like, what was I thinking combing my hair that way? But hey, 4 years ago, different style, different weight, different everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, whatever. We got to the wedding, and things were going well until we were about to start the wedding, and my grandma wasn't there yet on my dad's side. And we were like, what's going on? Why isn't she here? We're trying to call. Nobody's picking up.
And then I was about to walk out, and then
Yeah.
the lady comes like, "No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
Nobody can see you." And I was just like, "But why are they taking so?" I was ready to go.
Yeah, and I was stressed because I was like, we're paying for 5 or 6 hours that we had at the venue, and I wanted more time for the reception, right? You know, the ceremony for me was like, okay, let's just get the ceremony over with. I wanted more time, the reception, have a good time with family and friends, but my grandma wasn't there. So my dad, who was officiating the wedding, wouldn't start it. He was like, no, we're not starting without your grandma. And I'm like, I don't care if she's here or not. Like, let's just start, like, whatever. And he's like, no, we're not going to start without her. We finally got a hold of her. She had gotten in a car accident, and she was fine or whatever, but she had to get an Uber to come to the wedding. So she's from out of town. She's from Chicago, so it's not like she's local. So she was at the hotel, and then she got in a car accident leaving the hotel. And then we got her an Uber to come. She was only 30, 45 minutes later on there, but for me, that was huge. But it was fine. It didn't ruin anything. It just kind of like was stressful at the very beginning, because I was like, I wanted everything to fall. I had a timeline in my head, like 7, we're going to start this time, because everyone was miraculously there on time.
Yeah.
Except for my grandma. But again, I'm not surprised. So
I mean, it wouldn't be a wedding if we
Yeah.
didn't have something like this happening,
Exactly.
right?
Hispanics are late, right? You know that. So someone's got to be late to the wedding, right? And it would be my grandma. Because anybody else, we would have started. But because it was my grandma, my dad was officiating the wedding. Again, I would have started. I didn't mind. But my dad wouldn't start. And I was like, no, but this is my wedding. And so he's like, no, but it's your grandma. How are you going to start without her? And I'm like, but she'll be here for the reception. But anyway, we ended up waiting for her, and it was good. Everything went out well.
Yeah. And then I think we can go down to the next questions because we have different points of views. Like, what did I feel walking down the altar, and what did you feel seeing me
Yeah.
walking down the altar, or maybe just like standing there? Like,
Yeah, well, I guess like every wedding that I've been to, the groom ends up like crying or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. Like, but I know myself, I'm a crier. So I'm like, every sob movie that I watch, I end up, getting watery eyes. That's just how I roll. So I'm like, I'm telling myself I'm not gonna cry, but my nature is to cry. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, I was going against myself. So I ended up crying, but it wasn't like boohoo tears. Like I was the best man for my friend's wedding, my friend Brian, and he boohoo cried where he almost fell. I had to catch him.
oh my
He
goodness.
did fall. I caught him because he was crying so heavily that he like collapsed to the floor, and I
I
had to
wasn't
catch him.
there. That's why I'm
And
laughing.
it was funny, but we didn't laugh in the moment. But afterwards, we laughed at it. But it was just kind of like, bro, like it's not that serious. I don't know if he was crying because he was like devastated or what. No, he was happy. But I did kind of cry when she was coming down the aisle. I mean, it was a surreal moment. It was like
Yeah.
everything led up to this moment. Everything that we had gone through, everything that we had planned, everything.
Yeah.
Your whole life flashes before your eyes, and you're like everything led to this moment. And so it was emotional.
It's like I mean, all the movies and the books and everything. It's that one big moment that will
Hmm.
define your life, you know.
Yeah.
And to me, to me, I was like, I did know something was gonna happen. Either I wouldn't be able. My biggest fear was I won't be able to talk. I won't be able to
Mm.
talk because I can get so nervous that then nothing comes out of my mouth and I'm just like there like smiling and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like an idiot. That's what I thought. So I'm like, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go smiling, I'm not gonna look at him, I'm just gonna like smile to the people beside me and to the pictures and
Mhm.
whatever. And then that's what I did. I heard the song and I started walking down, but then I just couldn't contain myself and then I made eye contact with you and I was like, and then it was that one moment where I had to, we had the pictures to prove it because then you're going like this and then I'm going like this, like breathe, 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 breathe. So and then I think I just closed my eyes, like put myself together in like 3 seconds, open my eyes, continue walking, and then we were there standing. But
Mhm.
it's I can definitely say I felt that was the moment I felt the presence of God, because that's what I was praying the whole time. Like, God, I want your approval in everything. You know, I want you to be in the center of everything. You know, and that was the moment I felt when the presence of God came and be like, I'm here. And that gave me also such a peace. Like after that moment, all the nerves went away and it was just a beautiful, beautiful moment. And I think the last question was, and I think you already explained a little bit, anything unexpected happened at the wedding or reception?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, besides, my cousin bringing a flask into the wedding of some other substance. But that was during the reception. I was like, "What are you doing?" And it was just kind of like, "Here he goes again." So I won't tell you which cousin though. I'll leave that up to you to
Yeah, to
figure out.
you. Put it in the comments.
Um, but that's it. I mean, other than that, everything was good. The food was amazing.
Amazing. We ate.
Yeah, we ate, and I thought I wasn't gonna eat. I thought I was gonna be too
Mm-hmm.
nervous or too whatever. But we scarfed down food. I mean,
We were eating.
we
We
went
were
ham on that
hungry.
food. Yeah, for sure. And everybody was raving about the food, and we danced as well. I
The
don't know if
dance
that's one of
was,
the questions, but we during the reception
yeah.
we came out. The traditional. The DJ announces the the court, and they come out in couples and they dance, and then we come out and we did like a salsa song. We danced to a salsa song, and then we danced our song. It was
Yeah.
a slow song,
Do you
um,
remember?
"Besame Mucho," and then if you look at the lyrics of the song, it doesn't really go, but whatever. It was the song that we wanted to do, so it was great. Um, Other than that, I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to finish, I found something today.
Oh.
When I was setting up pictures and weddings and all stuff, I found where I wrote my vows. This is how important. You
Wow.
know how like brides they buy like this really beautiful notebook and they write it that wasn't me. It was a piece of paper I got from the printer. But again, this was happening while my hair and makeup was happening. So, but I found it and I kept it. I'm gonna read it.
Wow.
That's how it goes. Oh my gosh. Okay, it says, Caleb, how can I put into words my love for you? You are my blessing and an answered prayer. I still remember when I first saw you in CAP 2015. Since that moment, I knew there was something special about you. There was never a doubt or question. I knew you were the one for me. Here I am, standing in front of you, trying not to cry because today is proof that God is real. This is real. It's a dream come true. I waited so long for this day, and now it's here. You are here, I'm here, and that's how I want to spend the rest of my life. I promise to hug you when you're cold. I promise to never leave you alone. I promise to support you, take care of you. I promise to pray for you and the beautiful family that God will give us someday. I promise to be there for you always. Above all, I promise to love you with all my heart every day of my life.
Wow. I knew that because I memorized the whole thing. So I'm just
What? I was like, what?
No, but that's all. I don't remember my vows, to be honest. Not by heart, at least. But
you were a person of the moment.
yeah, I am. I really didn't need to write any vows. I could have just spoke right there in the moment and said what I need to say. But I did, and you had given me a gift for, I don't know if it was my birthday.
It was like a card.
The year before. Like a box of stuff.
Box.
And I kind of used that as well to introduce the vows. But yeah, it was a special moment. It was good. My dad was crying because, again, he was officiating the wedding. So he was crying. It was emotional for some. For other people, they were hot. They just wanted to get to the reception. They wanted to eat, like always. But one thing I do remember about the reception or the wedding in general is that my grandfather was able to be there.
Yeah.
And he passed 6 months after the wedding on my mom's side, my grandfather on my mom's side. And he was able to pray before the reception started, before we ate. We asked him to pray, and he prayed, and it was just awesome for him to do that. Literally every family function that we have, he prays before the family function because we didn't know when his last days would be, and he was already in his 90s by then. So for 5 years before that, every single time we had a Thanksgiving dinner or we were in town for Christmas or another special event for the family or whatever it was and the family was together, we would ask my grandfather to pray. He was a pastor, retired pastor at that point, but it was just tradition. It became tradition at that point. So it was great that he was able to be there because he almost didn't make it to the wedding. Mm-hmm. It was like he had
fallen.
He fell a couple days before, and that was typical of him falling because we would tell him, don't do certain activities, and he'd do them anyway. And he did something and he fell and he was in so much pain. And my aunt called me. She's like, I don't think he's going to make it to the wedding. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, he has to be there. He has to be there. We knew he was on his last, right? We knew that there wasn't a lot of time left. And so he ended up coming because I know he wanted to be there. It was everyone else that was kind of saying, don't go, take care of yourself, stay home. And I was like, no, he needs to go. And I know my grandfather wanted to be there, so he made the effort, he came. And it was great because we were able to be with him. That was the second to last time before he passed that the whole family was together on my mom's side. So it was great.
Very special.
Yeah, for sure. And he was able to see, me get married. If he wouldn't have seen that, if he wouldn't have experienced that moment, it would have been, something. For me, it would have been, something I would have regretted, and I know he would have regretted it too. So it was great that he was there.
Yeah, it was very special.
Yeah.
So this is it. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
And thank you for watching with us or listening to this episode with us. And thank you for being so faithful and supporting us on this podcast. If there's any advice that we would give you is for if you're married or you are dating someone, always put God first. I don't know if you want to say something, but I would say my advice, always put God first, because the more you fall in love with God, the more you will love your spouse, you will love that person. You want your love towards God to grow, and then you'll see that person, your spouse, with the eyes of God. You will see them as God sees them, and that makes a whole difference, right?
another important thing for relationships and married couples is surrender. Sometimes you have to surrender, and I say sometimes lightly because really it's a lot of times. Surrender your wants, your likes, what you want. Instead of making it about you, it's now about us. And sometimes you have to surrender time, surrender things that you want to do, your agenda, to make the other person happy, to put the other person first. And that's super important in relationships. And that's what makes it last longer. Than you stop making it about yourself, and it's now about the two. The two shall become one, like the word says. And ultimately, you're both surrendering to God. So when you surrender what you want, and you allow the other person to step into your life and allow things to happen and make things happen, you both collectively can allow God to let things happen in your marriage.
That's it. There you go. Thank you guys one more time for watching us. You know you want to like this video, subscribe, comment below, leave us a review, share with somebody else. And thank you so much. Remember, we are on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Follow us on social media, and just send us a message if you have any questions, or if you have anybody that you would like us to interview, have on the podcast. We love you, and see you soon.
Love you guys.